Shambho Mahadev Mahadev. Om Namah Shivaya. So we are speaking about Dhyanam, and we said, like as a very stable example, Maharishi can give only about these what we are explaining, because nothing in the prapancha is permanent. That which is impermanent, not permanent, how can we give an example of stability through impermanency? It is not possible. So the Rishi decided to give examples of Dhyanam meditation only through permanency, choosing that permanency itself is a lesson for us to learn from. One has to think why Maharishi did not choose Bhagavan Shiv, Mahavishnu, or some other Maharishis, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra. They had Ichha Mrityu for them. He has not chosen any one of them. He has gone one step further, or to give an example of Dhyanam, as I told you, Tamo Gunaha. Whereas in Bhagavan Shiva, what happens? Even though he is a dhyani, a great consciousness, but what happens in him? Everything functions. Yes. The whole thing functions here. But he is not affected by that. Neither his consciousness is affected by that. But there are all the activities of the universe is happening there, is why, even though it can be taken as a very good example for Dhyanam, because that's the right Dhyanam. Probably, according to my assumption, you should understand all these variants, why I am saying all this. What is the actual Dhyanam is what Bhagavan shows. Even though all the consciousness, all the activities are happening through him or in him, or he is in all the activities, I don't know what language you should use for that. All these three are suitable for that. Everything is in him and he is in everything, or all the activities are done in him or through him, or everything, every activity, he is the activity. Not only that, he is in the activity. It's called the Dhyanam. We can say that that is the supreme example of Dhyanam. But what happens here, he is trying to make a disciple understand what is Dhyanam. For him who has understood about the Nama Upasana, Vachaha, Manaha, Sankalpa, Chittam. When he is making these, see, they are none of them are connected to those. So when he is making someone understand with these subjects, he has to take some sort of example like this for explanations of Dhyanam. Is why he took Prithvi, earth, then the Akasha, things like that. Because they intentionally do not have any activity by itself, nor they are involved in any activity. As a Jadavastu we can say, or where absolute detachment from the activities. So this is why in this condition these examples will suit. But probably when we go higher than this example will find it obsolete. We might find Bhagavan Shiva as a better example, or a good example, or ultimate example for the Dhyanam. Are you getting my process of it? Yes. So you should not get confused when somewhere or somebody talks, or when you yourself think, why this has been chosen for the purpose of Dhyanam? Because he himself says that. Because in us also, what happens? Whenever we are in the Dhyanam, he said that to have a fixity of mind, he said. And do not find any kind of chaotic activities in the nature. And also he described about the Dhyanam as the application of the thought in a particular direction is a cause of success. The tenacity of the mind in a given direction and the persistent effort to achieve that direction without deviating the mind from the given thought is called the concentrated form of Dhyanam. The tenacity of the mind is given a direction, and a persistent application of acquirement of that direction without deviating the thoughts from that. See, this I have explained earlier also. Without deviating any of the thoughts from or behind or after is called a perfect concentration or a Dhyanam. To that, this example tallies, is what I am trying to tell you. Understood? There is a tenacity of direction. There is a persistent access towards that, applicability and access towards that. And no other subjective or objective thoughts are interfering with that. Who else it can be? It can be only the earth, or such Bhutas only can be cited as an example. Is why we should understand from the example, we should understand what is the nature of the concentration a Jivatma is supposed to approach and have. Is the purpose of these examples. Examples are not given just to conveniently make us understand with something or other. The example has to have the closest meaning and similarity towards the purpose of it. Then only it will be known as an example. Yes, right? Udaharanam. Example. Example. That which is past. Ample. The amplicity of the originality shown as that previous status of that is known as an example, or an udaharanaha. That which is inherent, udaharanam, udaram is inherent. Uda is inherent Harana, that which is inherent, the cause of the inherency is practically removed and shown to you is an udaharana. See there, that's so what happens when I tell you an example, it should be the closest form of that which is existing. So for a Jivatma, in order to, see, these are very important chapters. If one doesn't understand it, one will miss it, that's all. Now one cannot attain that. Through the process of living for a Grihastha, through the process of living for a Brahmachari, living for a Brahmachari, one who is in the path towards the sannyasa, like from Vishada to the sannyasa. Every life is going through Vishada to sannyasa. That's the process. That's why Bhagavad Gita starts from Vishada, ends with sannyasa. Dhyanam. Okay? So when one goes from Vishada to sannyasa, Dhyanam has been kept as a very important factor just before the attainment of the Satyam. Satyanveshana is sannyasa. Before the attainment of the Satyam, Dhyanam has been incorporated. Because through Dhyanam only where we do as we all know that, what we do a constant renunciation process, neti process. A constant renunciation process, not a renunciation process. Whenever we use such words in Upanishads, we have to be very clear. That's why Upanishad, in certain languages, we cannot change. What's it? Not renunciation, what is it? A constant renunciation. Then only we will do not the consciousness, what we attain the absolute consciousness. In order to attain everybody is conscious, everywhere there is consciousness. What is the purpose of all this? Absolute consciousness. So in order to attain the absolute consciousness, constant renunciation process has to be applied, eliminating the thought process, interrupting and interfering. The concentration, which is known as the tenacity of mind in a particular direction, persistent on attainment of that direction, without deviating or intruding any thoughts to that, is called the absolute attainment of it. This is how the classification goes. Right? This is how. It is not a myth, it is not only for people to make you understand. Bhagavan has written here. Bhagavan mentions here, Sanat Kumara mentions here only for that. For any prani, for any jiva, for anyone who is supposed to go through a dhyanam. For the attainment of, we should understand the situation. When and what, who and where, whom is spoken, we all studied this. This has to be first understood, then only we will understand the meaning. Otherwise, when the status changes, meaning changes. That is why I told you, when it concerning Bhagavan Shiv, none of these will become applicable. Everything will become wrong. Because for Bhagavan there is no particular direction, there is no persistent achievement of direction. Here there is nothing like that. Why? Because it's a process. It by itself is a process. By itself is a principle. By itself is a chaitanyam. By itself is a power. By itself is a one who is a creator, destructor, destroyer and renovator. By itself is the one who projects the chaitanyam without an intention, and through that chaitanyam only the prakriti functions. When the prakriti functions with that non-interruptive, non-intended function of the chaitanyam, the prakriti doesn't have any particular intention, is it not? Particular direction. Does the prakriti has any direction? It doesn't have a particular intention, doesn't have a particular direction, it doesn't have a particular stability or non-stability, because it is only a reflection. Does a reflection has any properties of permanency, any properties of movement, any properties of stability, non-stability? No. Reflection is based on that which is reflected by. Are you getting it? Is why when it goes to Bhagavan Shiva, that is upper limit. That a person, a normal person, even though linguistically one can understand it, but will not be in a position to understand it through the process of, as we said in the last verse. What was the last? Is that is a chittam. In the chittam, in the power of understanding and storing, is not possible with that principle. Why? Because it is through the chittam we are trying to understand which is beyond that is which is in the chittam. So we will not be in a position to understand, even though linguistically when I say Bhagavan Shiv's and then the Prakriti and the chaitanyam and existence as not, doesn't have any, it's an unintentional, uninterruptive, unstable process. When we say that it is all negative, one it appears to be a very negative, is it not? Absolutely. We will not be in a position to understand it because we have not gone through that status of understanding. Unless you go through the status of understanding, you will not be in a position to imprint that in the chittam. Then only that memory, or what you call it as, that understanding and the storing takes place. When there is an understanding and a storing has to take place, as far as the chittam is concerned, that's why chaitanyam we said. No. Chittam, from that only buddhi comes, chaitana comes. From buddhi, intelligence comes. That what we call it as an intelligence. We have explained about the intelligence. So, that will not be suitable at this moment of time. As Bhagavan Krishna told Arjuna, hey Arjuna, it is not time for you to take sannyasa. Is that what he has told? Even though he did not explain further complications. Say, Bhagavan, why don't you please tell me why not I take sannyasa? Why should I undergo the process of karma yoga before taking the dhyanam and sannyasa margam? He only said, what did Bhagavan say? As far as we know, Bhagavan said that, look, that is not meant for you at this moment. Why? Because you are born in order to execute your karma, and so karma yoga is the process through which you are supposed to go. For this I have gave you an example about 2-3 classes before that. Yes. Even if you go at this point of time thinking that it is important, fine, it is important. It's no doubt it's important. Bhagavan never said dhyana and sannyasa is not important. He only told you are supposed to do this only now. He did not say that is not important or that's not supreme. Suppose without listening to him, I told about this, I think I am just said that you will not be able to sustain that because your prakriti, your swabhava, your nature will automatically bring you back to the war field. You have no escape because everything happens. As I told you last time, it is the chaitanya. How we said about when we started the dhyanam, how do we function? You are very proud that I am functioning. Yantravatkaranam. We said about the Yantravalkaranam, we have spoken already. It is almost like that. You are unnecessarily proud of an unqualified status of yours, which is out of place and absolute ignorance. Am I right? If you think you are functioning. This function can reflect, now we will be talking about further details on this, you may not get complete details. This reflex will happen only And how this happens and how it is variant from, that also I spoke, I think, why it is variant from individual to individual. They are also based on the karmas and karma balas. Will drag you towards that. See, the only thing that what you can do is that through the process of the jnanam, through the process of the shraddha, and we explained about the shraddha, remember? And bhakti and the upasana and the didyasana, we will be in a position to get what did I say? Tenacity of the mind, that through which direction one should go, so that you can hold on to that, that persistent acquirement of that without any other interference of thought, and then slowly travel this only way. When you are in deep waters, even if you catch a straw, try to catch it and come out of it instead of sinking there. Is it not? Is the principle. So this is how it is done. Even though it is the chaitanyam that is functioning, it's the prajna that is making you function everything, but prajna also has given an opportunity to strive through it or swim through it. It is not only guiding you towards that, it is guiding, as I told you, it is guiding everyone. Everyone is guided by the prajna only. Whether he is a butcher, whether he is a thief, whether he is a pujari. Everyone is guided by the prajna. See, because that is only medium that you can use for executing anything for that matter. I am talking through prajna, you are listening through prajna. That's all. It is not your efficiency. Where is your efficiency come? That you catch hold of the straw in that stalk, and then the same prajna will, then when you catch hold of the straw, the same prajna will push you to catch hold of the straw. You are getting it, how prajna is functioning. If you leave the straw, prajna will help you to leave the straw, that's all. If you sink, prajna will help you to sink. Are you getting it? You right or wrong? You are moving in a fast moving open car. It helps you to move fast. Suppose you fall, it helps you to give the fastness, helps you to give a greater fall because of the speed, otherwise you would have fallen very slow. If you are fast, it will help you to give a greater fall. Both are done by this fastness only, is it not? Makes you move, makes you fall, is it not? Same way you are getting it. Prajna makes it happen. Analysis has been made by the Maharishis and found out these tattvas and principles which you should understand. So this is where your initiative comes. We say, no, you should have initiative, willpower, this, that and all that. Where is that? Your power is only to catching the straw, that's all. When you find a straw, instead of, oh, what will happen by catching a straw? What will happen by listening to Upanishad? What will happen by doing Dhyanam? So many people, you are talking about Dhyanam today in the Kali Yuga, midst of Kali Yuga, and so many people from Satya Yuga to Kali Yuga, many have done Dhyanam, many did not attain Nirvana, many did not attain Brahman, many have died like that. What is the use of it? Means not catching the straw. Why do you want to look at others when such example comes? We compare ourselves with others only when it is convenient for us to find out an excuse, that's all. I always explain these things number of times, I think. Bhagavan Ram ate meat when he was in forest, so excuse, somebody wanted to eat actually, that fellow Poor fellow was starving. He had to eat it, let him eat it. But then what happens? He found among the people around, he will find it a little embarrassing. So he said that Bhagavan Ram also has done it. So, on that pretext, what happened? He also ate it. He never said that 14, 12 years Bhagavan Ram did Vanavasa. So let me also go for Vanavasa. That he is not prepared for. No. That he will not do. Or Bhagavan Ram was he was a very honest person, or Maryada Purusha, very honest and very sincere. So he was a Maryada Purusha. But no, I am not that Maryada Purusha, but meat, yes, that part I will accept. Conveniently, we will accept what is necessary for us. We will cite examples of Bhagavan Ram and Bhagavan Shiva and all that when it is suiting us. But when it comes to the principles and leading your proper life, we will not find any of those examples. Otherwise, we have got all Rama, Krishna, everybody is there. Rama and Krishna and Ramakrishna, all are there. So to find that, you understood now where is your process comes. What happens is that in the molecular evolution, when the positivity arrives, the density and the movement of the molecular movement should be such that it should get entrapped into that positivity, so that the positivity can take care of that movement of the molecular actions into the higher realm of it. Instead, get attracted and getting either stopping it or going into other direction. This is the only option that the Chaitanya can make you function through the karma, and this also is karma and karma pada. Is why the karma yoga is very important for a jivatma, because in that many things can be laid back, many foundations can be laid on which you can stand and get the success. Is why our thinking, that's why these Upanishads have been inscribed in the form of books, and these are all sutras. The same shloka, when it is explained to a sannyasi who has completed the brahmacharya ashram, brahmacharya ashram, for him, I will explain him totally different. It won't be like this. For him, Dhyanam will be totally different. For him, the application of the mind and the tenacity of the mind and the constant application of that will be totally different. Yes. There what happens? There only renunciation takes place. So the explanation will be, your asana should be based on the renunciation. This is not applicable to Jivatma. For a sannyasi, after the brahmacharya ashram, for him, I would have explained, is totally different. Prithvi, I will take the same example as Prithvi. Like the Prithvi has, and the Akash and the Surya, Chandra, Adi, Parvata, they're all in the status of meditation. What happens? They have a basis of what? On what seat are they sitting? On the basis of, they are sitting on the basis of, on the base or in the asana of the renunciation, non-attachment process. Then only they will be in a position. Then for a brahmachari, what happens? I tell him that when you sit on that absolute renunciation, then only there is a stability as far as your being there. Unless your stability in being there is there, your dhyanam or your direction of the attainment of the purpose through which you will be in a position to concentrate on will not be possible. So in order to give that tenacity of attention or direction, and giving that direction to your mind, or to giving direction to elimination of the mind, what will happen? The total negation has to be already taken place, so that you should be sitting on an absolute renounced status. When it is in a renounced status, you will be in a position to stabilize your mind to what? Stabilize your mind to renunciation. When you are sitting on the status of the renunciation, you will be directing your mind to the absolute renunciation status. This absolute renunciation status, when you reach there, as I explained to you yesterday, day before yesterday, that the mind is not entangled into the activities, and when it is not entangled into the activities, it is in silence. When it is in silence, then its vision will be to the jnanam. That's called Brahman. That's Brahma jnanam. His vision will be to the Brahman. When the vision he gets, it's not end. Sannyasa. When the vision is to the Brahman, since he has got a thorough and unstable base of renunciation, this is for the brahmachari. Stable base of the renunciation, his functionally, the mind which is diluted because there is no attractions and attachments, so as diluted into the jnanam. So automatically what happens? The stability of the jnanam in whatever he thought is a renunciation will be converted into jnanam. Even the process of renunciation converts into jnanam, so that he will not be conscious that he is on the asana of the renunciation, but he will start feeling the experience of he is sitting on the jnanam, not on renunciation. You understood? This will be meant for, anyway, further things are there which I don't want to tell here. It will not be appropriate here. It is meant for sannyasis, where further things are there. Then what happens after he is stabilized his vision to the jnanam? Then what happens is that further explanations are there. That goes on like that. But whereas here I am talking Chhandogya Upanishad now, I would like to follow. This is only my informations to you, that when it goes the same principle, when it is, the purpose of telling was that to show you and tell you, look how totally it is different. That's why, depending upon the situation, who speaks to whom, when and where is very important. So this is what has to be understood. Here, as far as this is concerned, Bhagavan Sanat Kumara is speaking to Devarshi Narada on, not just like that. Sanat Kumara did not. Devarshi comes and tells him, hey Bhagavan, even though I know all this, my sorrows and my, indecisiveness still is persisting. How can I come out of it? So specific question was there. When there is a specific questions, jnanis will give only specific answers. They will not go here and there like we are talking. They won't go here and there. Is why he has been explaining this. So in this incidence, when I am talking about the stability of that, when Bhagavan is explaining here, is that introducing you to the outside, external, objective experiences. He is telling you to meditate like the earth, like the akasha, like the parvata, like this. Because we are able to understand. That's why I said it is meant for the jivatmas. They will understand examples only that what they are seeing in day-to-day life. So it's through an objective experience only, he would like to take you towards the subjective experiences. In fact, the whole Tattva Jnanam, everybody went through this objective studies and transcended themselves into subjective studies. Even Adi Shankaracharya, when you take, you will find the same process has been taken care. So same thing Chhandogya Upanishad is explaining us. Bhagavan Sanat Kumara explains to Devrishi that objectively let us try to understand, because his problem is objective. His sorrow, and then what that said, sadness, indecisiveness and things like that. Whatever it is connected with that unsatisfied, that is his unstable, agitated mind he has got. He has got the knowledge, but he is unable to come out of that agitation of the mind, which is sorrow and which is controlling him to be disturbed in the conditions. So that itself is an objective experience. It's not a subjective experience. Sadness due to such and such thing. Sadness due to that. Sadness due to this is why I said about the objective experience. There is no sadness due to me. No. Alright? Even though I am the victim of the sadness, I am not the cause of the sadness as far as this is concerned. Even though I is there, then only the sadness is there. You can say that I is the cause of the sadness. Again, as I told you, it's interpretation in different situation. But whereas here it is concerned, when you are studying about the sadness, why Devrishi Narada says that I have the sadness. I have the sadness, I have the indiscrimination, I have the instability. Not that I am the sadness. So when he said, I have the sadness and I have the agitated mind, this what he has to be removed. That is where it is only outside. So we are introduced to the outside, and so Sanat Kumara telling not to us, to us through the media of Devrishi. So for most of the human, for most of the grihasthas, for the most of the jivatmas, human beings, this example one has to go through, then only we will be going to that next chapter. We will be going to another 3 chapters. One is that then after understanding this, we understand the self, then we go to death, then we go to after death path, then we go to the attainment of the true. All these things are there. This will be coming. Okay, they are all completing the Chhandogya by that. Okay, so many things are there. It's beautiful. It is very, very dense now, even though it's fantastic. I don't know whether we can understand all this, but whatever we can understand, let us. Okay, so here the objective experiences Bhagavan is explaining. I told you last time about, I don't know whether you remember or not, but I have told is that there was one Maharishi. I am talking about the objective experiences. Now, through the objective experiences, we will have to go slowly to subjective experiences. Through subjective experience, we will have to go to subject. Objective experience, subjective experience, then subject. After the subject, then how the subject has come. When the subject is lost, what happens to the subject? Is there a subject? There is no subject. What happens to the subject then? How does he conform or transcend himself to what form and which form, and what is it called? And what is the path to transcend towards that? Is how this goes. No? That means, you understood now what I am trying to tell you? Subject, negate the subject, subjective experience comes. Negate the subjective experience, objective experience, then subjective experience, negate it, then the subject comes. Negate the subject, no, like that. By negating, where will you land up at one point of time? Nothing of this is true. Everything is a myth. No, this will come to that. This is why neti. You remember that the Ishavasya Upanishad or other Upanishads, they always told the principle of neti principle. This is not that, this is not that, this is not that. So this principle, application of this principle was invented by a Maharshi who wanted to know, I told you about that, who wanted to know the chaitanyam. This chaitanyam was invented. Chaitanyam was through the Shruti. He cannot, as I told you, nobody can do it by himself because everything is done by the Prajna and chaitanyam. So through that, what happens? This tapasvi, this Maharshi, at the beginning of the Treta, there was a Maharshi called, what is his name? His name is, he is known as Dirghatamas. Dirghatamas, his name itself may not be his name, maybe his activity was Dirghatamas, Dirgha, long, tamas, Lord, darkness. Dirghatamas means he was long in the darkness, in the sense when he was looking for the Prajna and jnaanam. What is it? The travel through the darkness only, is it not? Unless you find out it is no more light. So that's why probably he was known as Dirghatamas. There was a Maharshi, Dirghatamas. He went through the process of identification, personal analysis. Personal analysis means not the Sharira Mana, the analysis of the self. The analysis of the self, the analysis of the Atma, analysis of the Jiva, analysis of the Prakriti, analysis of the Purusha. He went through that. At last he banged his head at one point. He found out it is nothing but chaitanyam. I cannot travel beyond that because there is only light here. Now I cannot travel beyond that. This is all what I want to find. He landed up in that light, chaitanyam. Is how Dirghatamas could identify the chaitanyam. By, as I told you, like this. Like what? Eliminate the neti, objective experience, subjective experience, subject, self, then the Atma, then the Prana, then the Atma, then the Atman, then the Parabrahman, then the path, then the death, then the... You travel like this, where will you reach? This is how Maharshi, after long years, and you should remember that nobody was there to teach him. He had to go through this and find out. So Shruti, what happens? Who helps him? Why he is not helping you? The same principle, even though I have told, will it help you to find out the chaitanyam? You have heard it, it's a story. Shraddhavan, that's all I can tell, one word. Beyond this, nothing can be told. And we have explained how the Shraddha is created and how it has to be done. We have explained in the last class. And this is how he travelled and found out about the chaitanyam, because that is the one which is helping everything and everyone. He found out, even for me to reach this chaitanyam, did I know? Where will I reach? No. Who directed Dirghatamas towards the chaitanyam? It is the chaitanyam. Why? Because his absolute dedication and devotion towards the chaitanyam and Shraddha. An absolute living, that means that his self and his everything has been renounced, and he was sitting on the renunciation which has been converted into jnanam, and through that jnanam, when he traveled through that, he He even avoided, he even renounced the jnanam at last, because jnanam was not helpful to find out. For him, jnanam was, for us, jnanam is necessary. See, that's why I told you, the statements will change depending upon situations. Don't know, they are not, constant. They are meant for a particular time. For him, jnanam was an obstacle. For the Irgatamas, jnanam was an obstacle. At one point of time, he said, through jnanam he is trying to locate chaitanyam. So he said, hey Bhagavan, release me from that also. When he was released from all the entanglements, when he was relieved from the all entanglements, he was in that freedom who entangles everything and everyone. That is Chaitanya. He is the one who is entangling everything and everyone, who makes you attractive, who looks things attractive to you, who gets attracted to it, who has desires, who executes, who dies, who thinks bad, who thinks good, who everything. That Prajna, as I told you, use the Prajna. Now, that small facility you can have. When the dry leaf, when the wind blows the dry leaf, coming down like this, falling down. You don't know which side it will fall down. Bhagavan says, for a human jivatma, a small capacity has been given there that you can decide on which side I should fall. Choose that, so that the prajna can be utilized for that particular purpose. If you fall like this, you cannot get up. When the leaf is, the inside of the leaf is like this, it is completely stuck with the ground. If it falls the other way around, where the veins are there is a gap between the ground and the veins. It can always be lifted by another wind. This one is stuck, finished. It's only just my imagination, just telling you. You see? So if that leaf has been, the Jivatma has been given an option, while falling down, you can fall down like this. That's all you have to do. Rest is done by Prajna. Now you imagine, what is your activity in your life? So Bhagavan said, Dhyanam is that the whole earth. So we have talked about the earth. The heaven is meditating as it is. Waters are meditating. Mountains are meditating. The gods and human beings are meditating as well. As it were. It's not that we are not meditating. Gods and humans are also meditating. Therefore, those among human beings who attain the greatness here, they verily appear to have acquired a portion of the result of meditation. Parvata is meditating. We may say it's a Jadavastu, how it can meditate. It's based on the ground. It doesn't move by the wind. Its construction itself is the base is broad and the peak is narrow. You see? Who created this? Why it is not the other way around? Many people say the principle of gravity. As far as the gravitational field is concerned, everywhere the gravity is there. There also can be broad. Why not? It can balance on a pin also, you see. Our umbrella, how is it standing? Garden umbrella. With one pin and the big one on top is not. Like that Parvata can do that. Umbrella is a manifestation created by a human being with an adopted thing there and can be there for temporarily for a particular purpose at a particular height. It has got a definite height. Beyond that, it cannot be lifted. Then it will be blown off. Only up to height the pedestal umbrella can be, the garden umbrella can be kept. Is it not? Be or not? Okay, let's have 5-story umbrella from next time onwards, so that in every. That's not possible, you see. There's manifestation there. No? We are talking about the meditative nature. Here, in manifested things, meditative nature doesn't come. So let us not take such examples. Now, some people, for argument's sake, they can call it like this. You see. They are all manifested. We are not talking about manifestations. We are talking about the meditative status. For a meditative status, the Parvata itself makes it convenient to meditate. So he constructs himself like that. Is due to chaitanyam. Tell me otherwise, how is it forming? Yes, people talk about the gravity. I also agree that when it falls, it is dropped down. But why it is dropping down like this triangle only? Why it is gradually going pointed towards up? Yes. Without anybody directing it. Which engineering was doing that construction like that. Beautifully arranged. See, any links can be made. So meditative stage, which is why this example has been given to this meditation is that you make your base on renunciation. You make your base on the earth, which is already meditating. So when you make your base on that which is already meditating, you will be in a position to stabilize yourself without anybody's direction. Your shape will automatically become like this, is what Parvata is telling us. What does it mean? As I told you, the example should be closest to similarity of the truth. When you, everything has to be you, otherwise that's why all these things are explained. When you have to have the meditation, your base should be that which is already meditating. Who? Like the earth on which the Parvata is standing. You, if you want to be meditating, your base should be already on that what is meditating. What does it mean? That you should be when you have samarpana to the Guru, when you have samarpana to the jnanam, what happens? You have done the samarpana. Then what happens? What is the base there? The Guru is the base there. The jnanam is the base there. And then you are sitting on that upasana. Upasana. Where are you sitting? You are sitting on that. After samarpanam, you are not there. The Guru's jnanam has produced there, or the embodiment of Guru as jnanam is produced there. He makes you sit on that. It's called Upasana. When he is sitting, when you are sitting on that, automatically your Prakriti will be Parvata Arohana, like Parvata. Meditative stature will automatically come. That's why many of us have experienced, or many of us might have experienced, when we meditate in presence of Guru and we meditate as I am meditating, both are totally different. I don't know whether somebody has experienced or not. You will find the difference. The base should be that Parvata. That's why the example of Parvata has been given. Heaven, here, Akasha. That means Akasha. Akasha is the vastness. Meditate on vastness. Like vastness. Where? In the vastness what happened? Nothing is there. When you sit on this Upasana, the jnaanam of the Guru, and when you sit like a Parvata, and your tip will be automatically in Akasha, where there is nothing. In that nothingness, in the Akasha, Akasha is meditating. When Akasha is meditating, nothing gets into the space, or everything is in the space. Nothing is disturbing the space, even though everything is in the space. Nothing is disturbing the space. That's it. The space has to be there. Everything is here. Even to disturb, a space is necessary. Even to disturb a space is necessary. So the space is always there. Nothing can remove a space. Yes. Nothing can eliminate a space. Is called a stability of meditation of the space. Is why that example has been given. So when you are sitting on the Dhyanam as the seat and meditating like a Parvata, you are in the Akasha, in the space where no intrusion, and it is absolutely as you have to be there, because everything is in you. When everything is in you, you will not be thinking of something that is not in you. Why are we thinking about something? That which is not in us. Or we want it. When we want it means it's not in us. When everything is in us, then there is nothing is required, so the thought will not be there. So the previous statement where he has told that the thoughts statement where he has told that as the contributory to the sustenance of sorry, they're somewhere else. In a persistent effort in that direction without deviating the mind from the given thought. This statement absolutely suits. Mind is not deviating from the given thought, because given thought in the sense when everything is there, then you are not thinking of anything else. Another thought is not necessary. You are not diverting it. Is why he has given an example of the Akasha. What I am trying to tell you is that every example is very appropriate in its own position. Therefore, yes, the gods are meditating through. The gods means those who are above the gunas. It's called the gods. Those who are above the gunas are called as the gods. They are meditating. They are also doing tapasya. Why are they doing tapasya? For what? To have the sustenance of that position in Akasha. Like the Akasha. That's why we always say that Swarga is in Akasha. See, even though it's a colloquial language used, many say it is not in Akasha, it is in you. Everything has got a meaning. It is not told just like that. We said Swarga is in Akasha, Devatas in Akasha. Yes. It's because they are meditating to be stable like in the Akasha, where they do not need a base of earth, they do not need a status like a Parvata, but they are having a status of Akasha, where everything is in them, where they are not attracted and attached to that. A base is not necessary. In Akasha, to be in Akasha, there is no base. There is no base required, because where the space itself is a base, and space itself is the conclusion, space itself is a process, space itself is a creation. When everything is space, to be in the space is called meditating in the space, at the space. Is why Devatas are meditating, who are Gunatita. Those which are with the Gunas, they have the property of attraction and detachment. Attachment and detachment. One who has got the Gunas have the quality of, whether it is Sato Guna or Tamo Guna, have got the detachment and attachment properties. The one who is at the Gunatita, whom we know as Devatas, Devikata in us. We in us itself, when there is a Devikata is cropped up, we become Gunatita. Or when we become Gunatita, we become Devika, Deva, equivalent to Deva. That's why there is Devikata in him. Because he is Gunatita. He is not attracted and attached by the Gunas or influenced by the Gunas. He will not use the Gunas as an instrument in order to keep his survival. No. For him, the survival is not important. For him, his existence is important, not survival. Who is surviving? With an aid, something is living is called surviving. No. For a particular purpose, surviving. Because of compulsion, surviving. They're all surviving. The one who doesn't have any of these things, he is not surviving. He is existing. Are you getting it? We have to understand all these steps very, very clearly. Okay, so the Devatas are meditating, and then he said human is meditating. Absolutely right. Because meditation is nature, prakriti, niyamam. Meditation is not an action. Dhyanam is not a karma. Dhyanam is not an action. That's why Dhyana yoga, they said. To be, yoga means yujyate iti yoga. To merge with the Dhyanam. That means Dhyanam is not an action. To merge with the Dhyanam. I am doing Dhyanam is an inappropriate usage. Wrong usage, in short. Because Dhyanam is by itself nature. You can't do Dhyanam. Then what are we doing? We are doing Dhyana yoga. Well, we don't use it in the normal language, well, only to make you understand. I'm just talking there. But otherwise, normally we use the word Dhyanam for the purpose of, as it is an action. Sitting in a particular posture, doing this, doing that. Okay. Here also he is telling that. Okay. Here also we are telling that. Yes, there is a Dhyanam, a process. It's a Dhyana yoga actually. It's a Dhyana yoga. Human is also meditating. Everything is meditating. I have explained years ago in Reiki class as well as in the spiritual class, I think. I have learned it from one bird. When I went home down south, where my birthplace, it's all changed now. The original place was there. when it was there. Those days there was a nearby a very big mango tree. Even now there are, but that is different. The original mango tree I'm talking about. That mango tree, every evening, what happens, after 6 o'clock you will find there is a particular kind of a bird. I don't know what you call it. It holds on by its claws in the branch and hang the head down and sleeps without any problem. Anything is disturbed, it will sit erect on the branch. When it is awake, it sits on the branch. When it is sleeping, now you imagine. If you try to do this, what will happen? I'm not exaggerating. I think she was there. I told her, we all saw that. We particularly sit down there at 6, switch off the light, keep quiet, You'll find that it's hanging. The moment you make noise and all that, it will sit up. What are they doing actually? Meditation is a natural process, is what I am trying to tell you. This is what I could find from the nature, learned it from the nature, that it is possible. You and me cannot do it. Why? Because we are not designed. Even when we are sleeping, in our mind, there are hundreds of thoughts going on. So long your mind is oriented into, as I told you about the Shraddha, the deviations, the diversifications, thousands of thoughts traveling through, thousands of dreams going through. Dreams are nothing but your experiences and expectations. So all these are thoughts only. When you are not in the deep sleep state, in the Swapnavastha, your concentration is not good because you are, every moment, you are split into thousands of particles. Where is the question of concentration? Where is the question of meditation? Whereas that particular bird is concerned, there is no chinta in the mind. Absolutely silent. Not even thinking that it is sleeping. Absolute silence. That too, within a fraction of a second, it attains that status. And the moment its mind starts working, when the disturbance comes, it sits on top of it. You see? It goes out of meditative state. So meditation, when I said human are meditating, so I remembered about this. Everything meditates. Everyone meditates. Even human being also meditates. It's not that we don't meditate. We meditate. Each and every object you are concentrating on, you are meditating. When you're thinking that, you become that. That's why we cannot become anything. Because we think thousands of things at a time and we are nothing. None of them, nor any of them. Because we are not able to consistently be with that. If you consistently be with something that you are thinking, you will become that. It's called meditative, the Dhyana Yoga. But a human mind is, because of its karma and karma balas, the impact of karma bala, it keeps on, and in the functions of the indriyas, it keeps on traveling. At the same time, it travels at thousands of directions. Not 1,000, thousands of directions. So what happens? In each position, we are spending some time. In each position, we are meditating actually. That's why you are able to see, or we are able to direct yourself to thousands of things. Because in all these 1,000, you are meditating. But only for a very unnoticeable time, as far as time is concerned. Where the stability is not there. You travel from this to that, again come back to this, and again combination of these things, and a recombination of this, and a mixed combination of these things, and a reversed combination, and reverted combination. And what happens? I am nowhere. Whereas Parvata is concerned, same. And the bird is concerned, stable. So Dhyanam is that, he is also explaining about the Dhyanam, is that he is explaining through concentration. The whole soul absorption thought on a particular object to the exclusion of any other thought is concentration. The whole soul absorption of thought on a particular object to the exclusion of any other object is called concentration, is called Dhyanam, is it? It's called Dhyanam. But when we say concentration, there is an effort involved in it. Initially, an effort is necessary for anything to move or for anything to stop, both. For anything to move and gain the momentum. One is that? One to gain the momentum of movement and momentum of stillness. It's also momentum. Right? Momentum of movement and to gain the momentum of stillness, both are, an action is necessary. A karma is necessary. When that karma is known as the yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga. So in order to do dhyanam, initially an artificial manifested momentum has to be created. That means to an object we have to concentrate on. This is what is called as Chapter 1, when I said about the Namopasana, what did I say? Pratishtha, I said. Everything has to be pratishtito bhava. When there is a pratishtha, what happens? You transfer everything into that. So what happened? Your concentration is where? Only on the pratishtha. Even though all the activities you are doing, they are all being done through the momentum to create what? To create that momentum of stillness into the pratishtha is called dhyana yoga. Are you getting? Technically, one has to experience it, anubhava. Experiencing has to be there, then only you will understand it. Understanding is not memorizing. It's not understanding. Understanding is what? You have to experience anubhava. When I say heat, you must see, feel the heat. That's called anubhava. It should boil. The body should boil. Then is your experiencing. That's called anubhava. That's called experiencing. That's called it's not memorizing. Memorizing is only words. H-E-A-T, heat, tapa, teja. So, it's called dhyana marga. Concentration is, even though an application here, an applicability of a karma is involved in it, but very soon this karma will turn into yoga. Yeah. Initially. So, for that, the pratishtha is necessary. That's why it is the basis on that Hindu Tattva has created akara, shapes and forms of gods and goddesses. Beautiful. Excellent. Maharshi knows this fellow cannot do it. I have to create a shape and form. Yes. Adi Shankara has Pratishtha he has done in Kedarnath and Badrinath. It's only a stone, which has got tremendous powers according to the story. You all know about it, how he chose that stone. But it's only a stone, there is no akara in that. But today Pujari has been advised and told to make one shape and form in that, and then put abharana and abhushana and sugandha. Why? Everything is necessary. All the panchendriyas gets to be attracted towards a particular rupa akara, so that a man who is unable, who is 1,000 times split every second, to drag him, bind him to one place, he tried his best to create all sorts of, magic manifestations, so that your mind is concentrated on one rupa and form. And with all that, even though Maharshi with great expectation and dedication, the great tapasvis have done this, how much is your attention and meditation on that? When you look at a rupa, taking all the troubles from here to Badrinath and Kedarnath, Vaishno Devi, going on the palki, you will not get any punya, so you will have to walk, breaking your knees and footstool, and then bleed and all that, then only you will go, and Devi Prasadam will be there, and all that we have done, and all that has gone, because I walked, climbed, that, and all that, credit, he goes there, and then in front of that Devata, not even, by the time you reach there, hungry, tired, and absolutely beat, what Devata in front? Tell me honestly, even the jokingly expressed, is it not? Somehow the ritual of, sometimes thankful that the pujari says, jaldi chalo, bas ek minute. Inside, subconsciously you are telling, thank you very much, otherwise I will have to stand another 1 minute here to pray, already tired, bleeding. Even though jokingly expressed, is it not the, you look at the other side of it, am I right? You may not accept it. Externally accepting is, you will feel that, no, I am not like that. I don't want to think I am like that. That's a definite word. Fine, no problem. So what happened with all this? Why did I say all these things? Because for all this, our Tattva Shastra has created a congenial atmosphere for a Jivatma to create a concentration. That's why we said, we will make temples on top of the hills. Why? Because a man with a determination goes there. Yes, I have to go there. Let there be any problem, doesn't matter. What happened? His concentration is better. He has a determination. I will go. I will visit. I will pray. I will have the darshan of that. This determination is there, but unfortunately what happens, the moment you reach there, as I told you, hardly one fraction of a second. Achha, kahan par wo prasad ka parchi milta hai? Next his desire is that, उसमें कितना क्या मिलेगा, पायस, लड्डू मिलेगा, पायस मिलेगा, कहीं तो केदारनाथ में भी भोग मिलेगा, उसके बाद now mind is entangled in that. Tell me honestly, प्रसाद अच्छा वापस में रीता और शालिनी के लिए प्रसाद भी ले जाने का है, तो कहाँ मिलेगा? No inquiry. After going from all this place, having all these problems, reaching Kedarnath and Badrinath, looking for that gold वाला मिठाई, oh that nothing is, वो क्या है, चीनी वाला, वो तुम घर में बनाओ ना, अरे and it's not प्रसाद, वो चढ़ा हुआ नहीं, वो सब पूजा नहीं की, वो बाहर से वो पैकेट में प्लास्टिक वाला बैग में करी, वो प्रसाद है वहाँ का. Jokes apart. Well, this is what is happening. What I am trying to tell is a fact. Why? Because we do not have the purpose for what it has been built and the purpose for which it has been created. We are not, this is what I said, catching on the straw. Get the meaning of it? No. Catching on the straw. All the facilities can be provided. How can you create bhakti now? How can you create bhakti inside you? Right? He has given you all the environmental, and all the assistance, knowledge, everything has been provided. Now, catching the straw has to be done by you. The leaf has to fall like this. You getting it? Nothing has to be done. Otherwise, nothing has to be done. You don't have to have that create the bhakti comes, we say. No. Bhakti is a natural process, phenomena that is there inside you. It is not built by practice. No. Not that, for 5 years I had been praying, sitting in Kedarnath, so I will be a great bhakt. No. Bhakti comes wherever you are. Bhakti is according to your practice. That's not according to your practice, according to your jnanam. So, basis of that, this is called concentration. So, for concentration, what happens? These environments are all created only for creating that, manifestations, creation of the fraction of a second of concentration. That's called the momentum, to create that momentum towards the dhyana yoga. So a karma has to be done. All this karma what we are doing, showing off this bhakti, is all okay, good, no problem. But only thing, we have to overcome that. Now this is only, we should understand it is only a momentum towards the stillness of it. All the activities, when the activities are there, how can you do dhyanam? Tell me honestly. When your attention is on many things, ringing the bell, putting the flower, pouring the water, and pouring the doodh and dahi, and doing that, doing this, and how can there be dhyanam? You are busy with your physical action, absolutely. But this is it not necessary? In Acharam, we have already explained in our book Acharam, yes, that these physical activities are meant for making a pathway towards, making you, facilitating you gradually so that you cannot be dragged like a cow, dragging you with a rope in its neck. It's not possible, no? So, it has to be gradually, slowly transforming you, transcending you towards the status of the concentration. Is why Bhagavan said, Arjuna, hey Arjuna, even if you want to do dhyanam and become a sannyasi, you cannot do here. This will be bring you back. This will happen to a human being also. Bhagavan says, Ishvara and the human beings also meditate. Absolutely right. We all meditate. Our concentration is a practice. It is a form of meditation. Only thing what happens, our concentration is not stable. We are not in a position to be at one place more than, it has been calculated, the scientists have calculated, at one location a person cannot concentrate more than, I think it is, if I'm right, not more than 1.5 to 4 minutes. Not more than that. This itself is 1 minute is, you should remember, it is 60 seconds, and in 60 seconds I think we travel more than 1200 places, forget about 120 in 60 seconds. Each second you travel so many places, so many bifurcation take place. Well, this is the capacity of a human mind. It can be done, but it can be developed further only through the spiritual practices, the spiritual methods. So what happens? The human being also meditates, but unfortunately what happens? They are, the human being also meditates, he says. So what has to be done? Upasana. That's the only way. As I told you, sit on that jnanam to be a jnanam. That's why all this process, it can be done. It is possible. So human being, devatas, human beings are also meditating. We are meditating. Each and every second we are meditating. Because meditation is a nature. Without meditation, you will not be able to attend. You are listening to me. It's a combination of 1 second, pause, 1 second, pause, another second, pause, second, pause, second, pause, second, pause, second. No, this is how it's increasing. You got it? Initially, the pause is more, then the seconds are less. Gradually, the seconds becomes closer. So the more it becomes closer, more of listening you do. Otherwise, what happens? You listen, then you go off. Again listen, then again go off. Listen, go off. You see? This is what happens normally. Now gradually what happens? Constantly when you practice, that's why, when it is a smaller group and an eye contact is there, the Guru, one will be little feel bad to divert, is it not? So what happens is almost a forceful making you listen, you see. If it is in a big crowd, there is no problem. Dhyanam yedidano karme karmati karma dhyanam. Dharme rakshade dharma. Guru is keeping on telling that dharma. And after everything is finished, hey, क्या वो बोला क्या धर्म में क्या बोले तो बाकी बताओ तो what happened at that point of time पता नहीं क्या हो गया था हमको बाकी नहीं सुना I'm telling you, I'm taking you through the facts so that you become conscious about it. So what happened? He listened. It's not that he did not listen. Dharme, he has heard. So he was on meditation. On that part, he was meditating. Then what happened? There was a pause. For him, what happened? Concentration. Pause, concentration. Then pause. Now what happened? Gradually when it goes, concentration, pause. Concentration, it will convert into that. This is how gradually we come to the meditation. Directly it's not possible. For anybody it is not possible. It has to be with a pause. Because a constant attention, a constant concentration is not possible. That's why for a Vakta, for a Guru, for a Vakta, for a Jnani, it's a constant flow. And there are no flaws. They are talking about Upanishad. There cannot be a mistake. A mistake is a sin, punishable. You know that? It cannot be. So it is that. Right? So, human being meditates true. But only thing, we have to prolong that. We have to convert that meditation, Dhyanam, into Dhyana Yoga. So that when we, from Dhyani to Dhyana Yogi, one becomes the Dhyana Yogi. It's all the 24 hours on Dhyanam only. Even when he is eating, it is a Dhyanam. Means his mind and concentration or his thoughts and other things are not vichalit nahi hai. It is absolutely concentrated form. He is eating, he is aware of eating. His attention, even in the annam, he is seeing the Brahman. His thought, his attention is never diverted from that. He is always there. But everything is happening. Everything is for him. Everything is happening in Dhyanam. For us, Dhyanam is happening in everything. For him, everything is happening in Dhyanam. For us, it is Dhyanam in everything. Dhyanam in a beautiful car which has been produced yesterday. That Dhyanam in a beautiful dress. Oh, you know that it's a combination of terrene and terylene and what is it, cotton and put together, and you can put it on your, wrap it on your knee, your pain will go away. You know, somewhere a cloth has been created, you know, Malaysia, they have created some kind of fabric. So they say you wrap around, your pain will go away. And let's try that, you see. Dhyanam on that terrene and terylene. Okay. Dhyanam on this, Dhyanam on the food, Dhyanam on the this, Dhyanam on this. Dhyanam in everything, for him, everything is Dhyanam. Everything has to come in Dhyanam. Dhyanam is my inherent nature. Dhyanam is my inherent quality. Dhyanam is that which has been achieved by my prakriti. No. It cannot be changed. It's my swabhava. So when it is a swabhava, everything that happens is in Dhyanam. Let it happen. It's happening. Aware of it. I am aware of it. I am not attached to or attracted to it. Everything is going on. I am not attached and attracted to it. I don't want to stop them. I don't want to attract them. Happening. But I am in Dhyanam. Is why Bhagavan is in Dhyanam. Dhyanam is this Dhyanam is what is called Dhyanam. Is why he said about is about Bhagavan. He said Devatas and human beings are here in Dhyanam. Okay. The people who have acquired that Dhyanam, that kind of Dhyanam, those who have the capacity to concentrate, they are the great ones. They are considered to be the Devatas. They are considered to be having enormous powers and siddhis in them, powers in them, jnanam in them, because of the dhyana yogam has been there. They apply wholly to their purpose to such an extent that they have no time at all to engage themselves in useless activities. Here, don't take it physically. That doesn't mean that. That's why I said tamo guna sannyasa. You see, they have no time to engage themselves into unwanted activities. They are physically or mentally not involved into unwanted activities. Is that meaning of it? Yes, they will not get involved. It is not necessary for them. Why? Because it's not that they don't involve. They don't have to involve. And since they are aware and they are conscious that they don't have to involve, they don't involve. So it is difficult to explain the grand nature of the result. It's very difficult to, you got it, I think. You got the meaning of it, Dhyanam? What is Dhyanam? Yes, that is Dhyanam. To be in that Pratishtha. To be submitting everything to Pratishtha. As far as our example is concerned, let me conclude in that. To be, as far as you are concerned, what you should do, it's an instruction. Okay. That you will concentrate on that Pratishtha that I have already explained to you. And all these qualities, starting from the Namopasana to the Sankalpa, to the Chitta, to the Dhyanam, everything, all the qualities, you are aware and you are submitting, and again be concentrating on the Pratishtha. In the Pratishtha, everything is there. So you have got everything. Since you are doing Dhyanam on that Pratishtha, everything is there. So concentrate only on that Pratisthito Bhava, so that automatically you start feeling your presence is no more there. Your presence is transmigrated, transcended into that Pratishtha. Okay? Is it clear? Right. The practice of concentration. So he says that, and as the Upanishad has beautifully put it, nothing in life have any sense or meaning when concentration is absent. And Dhyanam is not there, nothing is there. One becomes free, liberated from bondage, and succeeds in life to the extent of success one has in the practice of concentration of mind. So one should apply oneself to concentration, which is superior concentration here. Don't take it as dhyanam. Here, when I read concentration, it is dhyanam, concentration of mind. So one should apply oneself to the dhyanam, which is superior to everything that has been mentioned earlier. That is memory, will, mind, speech, name. All those things. This is the stage Devarishi Narada is there. At that point of time, he also says another thing here. Bhagavan says here that then again, people who are not into this path and don't understand this, they would like to follow the path of that which is directly connecting them with the objective experiences and splitting themselves into 1,000 parts of everywhere. For them, what happens, appear to have the portion of the result. Again, what happens? Those who attain only small portions of the result. Then again, those who are small, that means who acquired small, they become quarrelsome, jealous, and slanderous. And on the other hand, those who have influence of the others, they appear to have acquired a greater result of meditation, maintenance of that. He who meditates on meditations becomes great and get the freedom of movement as far as the range of meditation is concerned, is what he has told. So now we have covered the lessons of Namopasana, Vacha, Mana, Sankalpa, Chittam and Dhyanam. We have many more to cover. Yes, we'll talk about it. I will not tell you anything now on that. So next will be then, yes, as usual, again, Devarishi asks the same, like the Vikramaditya Vetala story, it goes on like that. Like that. So Devarishi is further asking, hey Bhagavan, what is greater than the Dhyanam? Sanatana, the Bhagavan Sanat Kumara explains that yes, there is something greater than that. Is called here in Sanskrit, it is known as Vijnanam, which is understanding, or Vijnanam is also contemplation. Actually, after the Dhyanam comes contemplation. Contemplating is called Vijnanam. Vijnana. Scientific. That means one understanding one gains the Dhyanam. That Dhyanam, what he has done to understand it and experience it, transform it into the status, is called the contemplation, is called the Vijnana. Is why Vijnanam. Vijnanam is Shastra. So that applicability, the application of the result of the Dhyanam, the application of the Dhyanam itself. It is not the result of Dhyanam. I am wrong if I say that. The applicability of Dhyanam in the self is called, the process is called contemplation. That process is called contemplation. Not application is not contemplation. The process to apply the Dhyanam in the self is called contemplation. That's the right word. The process to apply the Dhyanam into the self It's called that process is called contemplation or Vijnanam. That's how the Vijnan, the name of science, has come. Science is known as Vijnanam. No? Sanskrit it is Vijnanam only. That means the Jnanam, Vishakalana of the Jnanam is Vijnanam. The Jnanam being analyzed. If I do this, this will happen. Jnanam is already there. They are not creating the Jnanam. How is the scientist getting the information that he has to do this experiment? Prajna. Through that Prajna, he works on that. Prajna produces that result. Does he produce the result? He does this. After that, what happens? He says, got it. Not that I did it. It has happened, suddenly it has happened. So long it has not happened, suddenly it has happened. So some people, they 20 years, 30 years, they do an experiment. Contemplation they do, because Dhyanam was not proper. Prajna was not there properly. He was unable to catch hold of the straw. He was trying his best. At one point of time, he caught hold of it. The moment he caught hold of it, synchronization of the Dhyanam with the self has taken place, contemplation is complete. When contemplation is complete, Anubhava immediately takes place. When contemplation ends, Anubhava begins. It's the beginning of that. Asatya in Valmiki has ended, he has become a Maharishi. Process of the tapasya was contemplation. The transformation from Ratnagar to Valmiki. When did he become Valmiki? Only after the contemplation, when the application of the Tattva, the Dhyanam, has been applied to him, he became Valmiki. Not before that. Something like that. Is it clear? You understand? Yes. It's called the applicability of the Dhyanam into the self. So Dhyanam is not done for the sake of only saying that I am in meditative status. Don't disturb me. Beware of meditators in the door. On the gate. Don't make any noise. Beware of meditators. Beware of dogs. Not that. Om Shanti.